This is comic poet Angela Lansbury doing striptease.
I'm Angela Lansbury. In case I forget, here is my t-shirt with my name on it. Now, of course, if I get Alzheimer's, all I have to do is look in the mirror and remember my name. The only trouble is, I discovered when you look in the mirror, your name is written back to front. This is not a great deal of help to someone with Alzheimer's. So we will now be doing a striptease and I will take it off. I will then dress again. Keep watching. Here we go. If anybody knows how I should do it more elegantly, please come and teach me. I will now put some clothes on. I promised you I would put clothes on, so I will put clothes on. Here we are. Now it does get better, I promise you. It gets better. I have a lot of assistants. Here's one of my assistants. This is Batty. Do you think I'm Batty? Do you think I'm Batty? Yes, thank you for the compliment. Batty, of course, is also a writer. He's a right-handed or right-winged writer, and I have written him a Batty poem, which you will hear about shortly. In fact, I've written an entire book of poems about animals, but that's in the future. I think you'd probably rather not know about work in progress, but like to know about what I have already written. Isn't that so?
So, yes. Angela, tell us a bit about what you've already written. You're a poet. Now tell me, why do you like poetry?
Everybody likes poetry. The world is full of poets. That's why nobody can get published, and that's why I've self-published. Of course, I do have 10 regular books which have been published by regular publishers, such as Wedding Speeches and Toasts, which was a major reprinted every year book, and Etiquette for Every Occasion, which was a W.H. Smith bestseller of the bestsellers. Didn't make me much money, but I'm sure it made somebody some money. Anyway, now I'm in for fame rather than fortune, though I hope to get the fortune later, and I'm enjoying myself writing comic poetry.
How many books have you written regarding poetry?
So far, only 3. I've got 1 in progress at the moment.
Have you got any favourite poems you'd like to read us?
Oh, I thought you'd never ask.
We'd love to hear some, Angela.
Right. Oh, seriously funny poems. I think I'll read you one off the back cover. A good read. This book is a rare find indeed. In fact, it's almost guaranteed to meet the sleepless soft toy's need. It is a jolly thing to read, to keep it happy through the night, and help it sleep till broad daylight. I know you like to do what's right, so read aloud with great delight. Happy reading. That's on the back cover.
Brilliant.
What have I got inside? I'm sure I've got something more sensible. Ah, The Plumber and the Pensioner. I had to call a plumber in to look at all my plumbing, but when he saw my old pipes, he sighed, "Oh, they're really something." He shook his head. "Frankly, my dear, them waterworks is looking queer." I said, "They may be old, young man, but they've worked for me for years and years." It goes on over several pages. Wonder where it ends. Ah.
I mean, you're not going to read it all?
No, we haven't got time for that. We've got loads more poems to read. Anyway, it ends, "I snapped. They may be old, young man. Like me, they've worked hard years and years." One has to do funny voices to read poems aloud. Ah, somebody wrote some poems to me. "Angela will be a star. Her mum and pa say she'll go far." Angela Lansbury, you must have heard of her. She is an English teacher and she writes, "I wish I were." That was from Jeff Goodman. I must give him acknowledgement.
Who's Jeff? You don't know?
I met him very briefly on the internet, a fellow poet. I've never actually met him in real life. And we exchanged a couple of emails and I said, I admired his poems and said, would he write me a couplet about my name? And
excellent.
He very kindly did.
Have you any other poems that you love that you'd like to read to us?
Well, yes. Should I first tell you what happened about publishing my book?
Go on,
Yes,
share with us.
Yes, I wanted to publish this through lulu.com. So I had this lovely picture which is Australia. Where is it? Geelong? I ought to know this.
Geelong?
And why haven't I got... Anyway, wherever it is, it's got these 4 hilarious characters on the seafront. If you go into Australia.com or tourism.com, you'll find it. And right along the seafront for miles to as an advertising gimmick for the place, they've set up these little statues of characters, and here are 4 rather worried-looking lifeguards, male and female, all standing to attention along the front. I rather like that, so that's our photo, that's there. Then I've got these, which are amusing pictures. This one is about a cat, and why I don't want a cat, and it's a fireman up a tree trying to get this reluctant cat down. I'm sure that's a lovely poem. And then this is one that the person behind the camera here is, of course, William Broome, my great friend from Toastmasters, who's written for me for this book, very funny. And I have said, Australian-based actor and fellow Toastmaster William Broome.
Oh, that's me.
Yes, that's you. Where was I? I've got distracted now. Oh, yes. Now, William is sometimes in Australia, though right this second as we film, he's in London. And this is a picture of Australia, so I thought he would like that. Yes, I hope it's Australia. Yes, it's
I hope
Australia.
so too.
Yes, it is Australia. Anyway.
Could we have a poem from it?
A poem from Australia?
Did you just give us 2 from that book?
I gave you one. I gave you a good read, which is the advertising piece from the back, and I gave you a bit of The Plumber.
Brilliant. Any other poems then?
I could tell you what else is in this book.
Go on.
Some of my favourites. Oh, Teacher's Troubles. 10 Little Toddlers. The Terrible Tale of Thomas Who Wouldn't Wash His Hands. What Happened to Our Daughter. The Teetotaler, which is why we've got this cartoon of the hand and the bottle of drink. My New Boyfriend is one of my favourites. Dear Faithful Fred. Oh No, 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 which is a parody of Oh No, John, No, John, No, John, No. A lot of stuff about travel. Milton Keynes, which is on the other video. The first one you did of me, William, which is a sort of introduction. And then Senior Moments. Oh, this is a very popular one. The one about the plumber and the pensioner. I did this at Swanwick Writers, and they people were quite struck by that, remembered it. People were emailing me afterwards saying they'll never forget it. And there was absolute silence when I finished it. I was quite worried, and I did it with my knees apart, sort of showing all my tights. And I thought people thought it was a bit rude, and I said, why were you all so silent at the end? And one of the ladies emailed back and she said, you were so far into character, we thought you weren't going to come out.
Ah, brilliant. Can we hear it, please?
Oh.
That'd be excellent.
That one is Susanna. It's right at the end. I'm talking to keep you interested while I hunt for it. Of course, at the end of the book I've got lots of stuff about other famous humorous poets, Betcham and Alan Alberg, who I just love his book, Heard It in the Playground, Hilaire Belloc, and so on. Now, where are we? Let's look. There's one about a cleaner, Bugs in Beds, An Offended Fan, I Wish I Could Be Like You, which is a villanelle, and Do It Now, because I'm a procrastinator. And here is the one with lovely little cartoons about the granny, and it's cool, and she's got a Nurse Susanna looking after her. Oh no, Susanna. Nurse Susanna, don't you look for me, 'cause I've gone up to London with my bus pass on my knee. I'm a laugh a minute, and my sense of humour's rude. The Packhead Hotel sent me home when I dined in the nude. That's a true story. Somebody told me that they had to fetch their grandfather back from a hotel overseas, and they phoned and said, would you collect him? And they said, why? And the hotel said, he's walking around the dining room and nude, and the other hotel guests don't like it. Anyway, they put me in a hospital just for observation. I told the doctor, don't touch me, or you'll be for castration. And there's a little picture of the castration. Well, at least there's a picture of the scissors. You have to imagine the rest. The head nurse told me, get back in your bed at night, so long as you're back here by 9, so we know you're all right. That's a personal joke. That's about my beloved late uncle Ronald, who was in a hospital, and he used to go home during the day, leaving an empty bed, and come back in the night to claim the hospital bed, and all day long the nurses were looking for him. Anyway, so this one goes, get back in your bed at night, so long as you're here by 9, so we know you're all right. But in the day I sneak away to McDonald's for my lunch, and I chat up all the toddlers, 'cause they're such a friendly bunch.
Well, thanks, Angela. That's great.